Just wanted to make a real quick video here about how to configure Mumble right after you have it installed. The installation is very self-explanatory and is like any other program. After you finish the install, you'll get an audio wizard. You want to use it. You do not want to skip it. If you do skip it, you can get right back to it by clicking configure at the top of the window and audio wizard. It's pretty self-explanatory, and some of these may vary depending on your hardware. But when I got in here, I believe it was default device, but I switched them to microphone. We're certainly not using a high definition audio device. You're going to know if you're using this, so you're probably not. And then speakers. Again, it's not HDMI, it's not SPDIF, excuse me. So I selected speakers. Positional audio is just like it sounds, it's positional. So if somebody in a supported game is to your front left, it'll actually emulate sound to the front left, depending on what kind of speaker setup you have. Attenuate applications while other users talk, you want to check this off. What that does is by default halves the volume of everything else when somebody in Mumble transmits. It's great, I like it. So your music, your game, everything will be halved in volume while they speak. This is going to play audio while, and you might be able to hear it because I'm not wearing my headphones. It's going to be playing audio the whole time in a loop while you're listening on this screen. You pretty much, just like it says, adjust the slider to the left as far as you can with no interruptions. If you get too far left and it breaks up or has interruptions, you have to move it further to the right. I had it far all the way to the left. I have no interruptions, so I kept it like that. This screen, I did not do all of it what it said. You'll be able to hear yourself speak, and what you're trying to do is you're supposed to go into your sound control panel, go to your microphone input setting, and crank it so that when you yell or scream the loudest you're going to speak, it barely hits this red bar, and adjust it until it does that upwards. I didn't do that. I don't think anybody needs to hear me any louder than they already do. However, I did adjust this setting at the bottom. It's real simple. The quietest that you're ever going to speak needs to barely get into the green zone, and you adjust where that blue and green zone meet with that slider. Real simple. So when I talk really quietly, it barely gets into the green zone. So that works. No adjustment needed. This is your push to talk section. I don't want to hear you sneeze, I don't want to hear you cough, so no raw amplitude, no signal to noise, just use push to talk. When you click this field, it says press shortcut. So mine's mouse button 4, so you can change it to, if you're somebody who uses control, that was my left control, but you click it again, left click, and it'll say press shortcut, mouse button 4. Anything you press is then assigned. Not hard at all. And that's where you get your push to talk from. Quality settings, I started it balanced. If you have really nice internet, just go ahead and start it high. I have it at custom right now because I went and even jacked it above high settings from 72 kilobits per second to 96, I believe. But if you have bad internet, go to low. You will have mumble lag with high latency, but that doesn't affect your other programs. It doesn't cause high lag in your game. It might just cause low lag in your game by using less of your internet capacity. So if you have crappy internet, start with low. If you have great internet, you can go high or even higher than that with custom settings later. This is more positional audio. I think all you're going to really get is either use headphones or don't. If you have 5-point surround sound, it might have that. I use headphones, so I click that. If you have speakers, see the diagram here shows your 2 speakers. So you might be able to adjust it. I'm not sure what the deal is. So that's just what you can do. It rotates around while you're configuring it. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm not an expert, but I found it pretty simple to set up and wanted to make a short video to simply explain everything that's in here.